Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request for Devonte. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, movie reviews, re-reviews, tier lists, rankings, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, to have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now, rest in peace to the director, Robert Lieberman, but this is the same guy who directed Fire in the Sky, which I did like that film, especially the third act. But this is the same guy? Really? Although, to be fair, he also directed The Stranger, which was a pretty bad Stone Cold Steve Austin film. Very lame. So he did do that as well. Now, I don't flat out say this film sucked. Of the two films Devonte sent, Amber Alert, I could deal with. The two leads I thought did a pretty good job, although there were some flaws to the script. I do think Kidnap with Halle Berry is a much better version of that film, but Amber Alert, it was a time waster. I could deal with it. This one was a piece of shit. It was a piece of shit. First off, I don't think the acting was that great. Erica Christensen, the only thing I could think of her, she might have been other stuff, but the thing I thought of was Swim Fan. She was the villain in that. And Jesse Metcalf. This is a guy that has been in some direct-to-video films. He was in one of those with Bruce Willis. I can't remember what it was called. And Bill Moseley, which I'll get to him in a few minutes, but Bill Moseley, I liked as an actor. So the plot of the film, to get right into it, is Erica and Jesse are a couple. Jesse is watching their kid. He goes in to look for like some suntan lotion, whatever the case. Looks out and sees that his kid's been taken. He runs out, tries to get to the kid, but outside of his reach, gets in his car, loses the kid, loses the vehicle, gets a phone from someone, calls. And it cuts to Bill Moseley, who is a creepy killer and kidnapped the kid, dressed up in like makeup. Oh, you're another messy boy, ain't you? And Bill Moseley can play this type of character in his sleep. He's good at that stuff. Although, to be honest, this was kind of a waste of his talent because he's not in the film that much. And I hate to say it, well, no. Casting him was a mistake. I'll get to why in a few minutes. The cops find him, and the kid is dead, and pretty much the wife is blaming the husband, but then she realizes it's wrong to blame him. It's not your fault, but I still do. The trial happens, there's a plea deal, so he's only going to get like 25 years to whatever. The parents feel that's not enough. The sentence is too light. So they decide to bring their own brand of justice. So conveniently, the guy is a doctor, so he can get the supplies, and then when the torture happens, he can know how to torture while also keeping the person alive. And then thankfully the wife is a real estate lady, so she knows of a place in the middle of nowhere to do the deed. So what they do is they drug the cop who's driving the prison transport. When I say drug, as in enough for him to, I guess, get outside and take a piss. And then once that happens, they're going to go in and steal the van. At least the guy, the father does, Jesse Metcalf. And he's driving all crazy. He crashes the van. And then they take someone, they drag them out, and they go to the middle of nowhere place that they have set up. And then literally the second half of the film is just them torturing the guy. Over and over again. That's all it is. They burn him with cigars. They have a vice thing, they crush his foot. The cover is this masked thing, so they kind of fuck with his air. Okay, that's too much air. Like suffocating him. They open up his stomach and pull some guts out. Injections to cramp all his muscles. Repeatedly torture the guy. Here's the problem. Well, there's a lot of problems. The main problem. When they get the guy, and then they put him on the table, I'm sitting there going, that's not Bill Moseley. That's clearly not Bill Moseley. It doesn't look like him. Especially when you hear his voice, it doesn't sound like him. I'm like, that's not Bill Moseley. Now, maybe Robert Lieberman, rest in peace, other people, maybe they didn't think me and others knew who Bill Moseley was. I do, because I've seen him in a shit ton of movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Hell, The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, even bit parts, The Blob from 1988. The beginning, in The Blob, he's the guy, he's one of the soldiers who Kevin Dillon takes the bazooka, shoots, blows up the manhole in the truck above, and they escape. He gets the bazooka from Bill Moseley. Night of the Living Dead, 1990. He's the guy going, they're coming to get you, Barbara, at the beginning of the remake of Night of the Living Dead. Depending on which version of Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween you watch, there's the version with the cops who Michael Myers kills. He's one of them. He's at the very beginning of Texas Chainsaw 3D as one of the family members. He's been in a lot of films. I know what he looks like. I know how he sounds. So when I see this guy, I'm like, that's not him. That's not his eyes. That's not his face. Who the fuck is this guy? For a split second, I think, did Bill Moseley quit? He's like, I don't want to deal with this shit? No. I'm going to spoil the end of this film. At the end of the film, they torture him enough. He conveniently has amnesia, by the way. Conveniently, this guy has amnesia. Of course he does. He believes what they said. He hangs himself. The husband and wife clean up. They go about their merry way. Meanwhile, the cops find Bill Moseley. There were 2 prisoners. One of them was Bill Moseley, who escaped. The other was this guy who they got. So they tortured the wrong guy. And the couple never realizes this. There is no scene where they realize what they did, how they screwed up, that they tortured the wrong guy. Which I think would be such a powerful, powerful scene. Where maybe they go to a diner and they're eating and they look on the TV and they realize, and the look and the horror and that would be such a powerful way to end it in a good movie, and they don't even do that. But I knew it wasn't him a lot sooner than the movie did. So its fucking twist didn't work on me because I knew that wasn't Bill Moseley, because it was clearly not Bill Moseley. It clearly doesn't look like him. When he talks, it clearly doesn't, because he has a unique face and voice. That's why I think it was a mistake to cast Bill Moseley, a guy that most people who watch this are horror movie fans who know who the fuck Bill Moseley is. And this was, what, 2010? So it's not like he was an unknown guy at this point. It wasn't like the days of Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, another film he was in. So this whole time I'm sitting there going, how come that's not Bill Moseley? Wait a minute, that's not Bill Moseley. Wait a minute, that's not Bill Moseley. And then it's just a series of this guy's tortured, this guy's tortured, he's the wrong guy, it's not him, he's tortured, he's tortured. So the second half was just fucking boring. Unless you just like a series of torture scenes. Which I don't. That's not what I go see movies. That's not what I go see horror films for or entertainment. Even Saw films, there's more to the story going on. It got more overcomplicated and stupid as it went on, but there's more to it. And the traps can be fun or inventive or weird or whatever. Here is just torture. You know, the term torture porn got overused. It would fit in this. Because the second half is just that. Torture porn. On a guy that's clearly the wrong guy. So either the filmmaker thought it was too stupid, or I don't know, they thought the viewers were too fucking stupid to realize. And it makes me go, why don't the two leads realize this? The two lead characters must have seen and observed and honed in on Bill Moseley, his face, his voice, interviews on TV, obsession. To go into this realm, they must have obsessed with this guy. That means they would know every nook and cranny of this guy, up, down, and center. And you're telling me when they pull this guy out, and I'm a guy that my kid wasn't taken and killed. Theirs were. But they can't notice they got the wrong fucking guy? But I do within less than 5 fucking minutes? It's not like if he was like burned up and you can't recognize him, like if he was burned up or his face was completely cracked up, like the man with no face, that's not the case here. He just has a couple bits of blood on his face. That's it. He was completely burned and you can't recognize him. That's what it should have been. If they want to do that, he should have been completely burned. Like his voice box, his face is completely fucked up. And so that's why his voice and face are different, because you can't recognize because they're burnt up. That's not the case here. They could have done that. I still would not have liked it, because just a second half of the film where it's just torture porn is not my cup of tea. And the two leads, I don't think were the best of actors. They're not the worst, but I've seen much better too. They grab a guy, they torture him, it's the wrong guy, and they don't even realize it's the wrong guy. That's another infuriating. For the ending will, even if you're into the film, I think the ending would piss you off. Even then, it's like, there are ways to make that much more powerful, like I said. You can make it where, again, have it be where they realize it and they realize what they've done and the justifications what they've done and the mistake that they made. That could be a powerful way to end your film, and they don't even do that, which is mind-boggling to me. They're eventually going to find out, because it's going to be all over the fucking news, and the cops called this couple, hey, this guy's out. You think they're not going to call them? Oh, we've captured them. It's all good. The important part would be the realization and them finding out, and maybe the wife breaks down or the husband. There's so much stuff you can get out of with drama and pathos and emotion, and you don't do that. But again, it's a fucking movie so stupid that it thinks we don't know who the fuck Bill Moseley looks like. That's why this film was fucking garbage. It does a twist, and it does it in the stupidest, dumbest way. That makes you, that thinks you're a fucking moron. Hey, we'll put some blood on this guy's face that looks nothing like Bill Moseley, and when he talks, he sounds nothing like Bill Moseley, because he's like, I don't remember, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm like, that's definitely not Bill Moseley's voice. I get maybe Robert Lehman doesn't know who the fuck Bill Moseley was, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. He passed away. Can't ask him. But it was so fucking stupid. It was so fucking dumb. So obviously you just see the twist coming 8 miles away, or 80 miles away, for fuck's sake, 800 miles away. So even if you didn't see the twist going, it's just kid killed, revenge. They torture him for half the movie. Not sure how much entertainment you'll get out of that. But again, with the way they fucked up and did it, you'll know it's not him. Again, if you know Bill Moseley at all, if you're a horror movie fan at all, which I think most people watching this would be horror movie fans, I'm like, that doesn't sound like him. That doesn't look like him. Who the fuck is that? Oh, here's a stupid ending, a stupid twist. That was obvious, and I'm like... And then what could have been a potential interesting wallop of an emotional beat, you don't even have that. So it's a shitty ending, a boring fucking movie. Just watching a guy being tortured for 40 fucking minutes is not my idea of entertainment. The acting wasn't that great. Bill Moseley was wasted. He's barely in the fucking film. He barely has shit to do. Hell, he barely has fucking dialogue except that one scene where he's talking to the kid. Then there's a scene where he's at the trial, he doesn't say anything. And then at the very end of the film, he's taught and he doesn't say anything. Just a waste of him and his talent. This film sucked ass. I know he said 2011, but on IMDb it says 2010. I'm curious, what does this have on IMDb? If I learn how to type. It has 5.4. Are you fucking kidding me? How the fuck does this have a 5.4? The film feels so real, relatable, and raw, especially the twist. It was like no other I've ever seen, even regardless of genre. Then you haven't seen many movies. Whoever the fuck wrote this? Who the fuck wrote this? David Dudeman? Dude, what a gnarly... I mean, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? This movie's definition of underrated? Oh my god, what? This... What the fuck are these reviews? This had a degree of substance? The guy says, damn good ending. I like how this person... How is it a good ending? It's... It's about two fucking morons that don't even know that the person they got was the wrong fucking person when I could tell 5 minutes in. I guess all these other people, they don't know... I guess that's where they're counting on. These people who don't know who the fuck Bill Moseley is. Apparently. I guess. So I guess it was made for these people, I guess. I guess so. I guess so. So... I'm done. This movie was stupid. It was fucking dumb. The two leads were unlikable. I wanted the killer to kill them. They were so fucking annoying. Can you kill these parents instead of the kid? Fuck this movie. So, we'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Later.